Judge Judy demonstrated how Judge transformed courtroom operations. Judge Judy herself then disappeared after 25 years of controlling courtroom shows. Judge Judy did not, however, retire. She restarted and started something completely different. You will be astounded at where she is now and what she has created. Judy Sheindlin, who would go on to become the well-known judge of Judge Judy, spotted something in February 1993. She had no idea how significantly her life would change as a result of what she saw. Judy was able to pass the New York State Bar examination in 1965. She entered the corporate sector right away, working for a cosmetics company as a corporate lawyer. But something was wrong. She discovered after 2 years that she wasn't getting the fulfillment she desired from her work. She therefore resigned and made the decision to focus entirely on her kids, Jamie and Adam. She then determined that it was time to return to work in 1972, but she wanted a job that would fulfill her rather than frustrate her. She chose to apply after learning from a friend about a position as a prosecutor in the New York family court system. Judy was employed because she was deemed impressive. Judy quickly rose to fame, and in 1982, New York Mayor Ed Koch appointed her as a criminal court judge due to her tough demeanor. She was elevated to supervising judge in the Manhattan Division of the Family Court by 1986. Although Judy would always disagree, her style of justice was characterized as rigorous and occasionally cruel. But it was her style that brought her renown, and because of her notoriety, Heidi Getlin asked her husband Josh to write a story about her. In a piece about Judy, Josh, a writer for the Los Angeles Times, characterized her as a lady who was committed to ensuring that the legal system served the public interest. Judy benefited greatly from that article since it attracted the notice of Kay Switzer and Sandy Sprechman, both of whom were employed by the talent management company Rebel Entertainment. They brought Judy to the attention of CBS, which then featured her in an episode of CBS's 60 Minutes. Judy immediately became a national celebrity as the audience adored her during the segment. Judy chose to take advantage of her growing popularity. Thus, in 1996, she penned the book Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining. Judy later retired from her position as a family court judge, having presided over 20,000 cases. People were unaware that Judy had a cause for leaving her position. The audience was left wanting more after her performance on CBS's 60 Minutes. A show concept similar to the People's Court was developed by Rebel Entertainment and its team, and it was presented to CBS. Judy was asked to serve as the judge of the court program that would bear her name because they thought it was a great concept. She agreed, but she didn't enjoy the performance. She and her bailiff didn't get along. She desired another person, but who was it? Judy picked up her phone because she remembered someone. Hawkins Bird adored Judy's book after seeing a news item about it in 1995. In a letter, he informed her that he was prepared to don his uniform again for her in the event that she required a bailiff. Before she had even finished speaking, he knew what he would say when his phone rang. Judge Judy was born, and it completely changed television court shows. Judy and Bird had a great deal of chemistry. He was the severe bailiff who had no personal stake in the outcome of the case. When litigants wanted to get aggressive, he brought order, and the spectators loved his steady presence. Every time a case was ready to begin, his fans stood up, eager to hear him pronounce order. Judge Judy was not just the most popular court show but also one of the most popular programs ever because of their chemistry. It's unfortunate how Bird and Judy's relationship ended. However, that will be discussed later. 9 to 10 million people watched Judge Judy every day on average. At times, it even outperformed the Oprah Winfrey Show's ratings. The show had the greatest rating of any daytime television program at one point. What made it the most watched show? We'll talk about that shortly. The popularity of the show grew until it reached a stage where the public trusted Judge Judy more than all of the justices on the U.S. Supreme Court. The crowd, however, saw Judy as more than simply a typical judge. She was regarded by them as one of the greatest pop culture icons in history. Judge Judy was always mentioned in shows that aimed to attract viewers. Nevertheless, the show was still not winning any daytime Emmy Awards in spite of the public's adoration for it. Judy, however, was receiving accolades and awards from a number of sources in spite of this. In February 2006, Judy received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in October 2012, she was inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. The accolades continued to come in, and in April 2013, she received one from the UCD Law Society's vice president, but Judy wasn't happy. She hoped her show would win an award. She became anxious, but she had to persuade herself that the award-winning shows were cancelled or discontinued. Judge Judy, however, drew a sizable following and showed no signs of stopping even after losing. But in 2013, a significant event occurred. Judge Judy eventually received its first Emmy after 15 nominations, which paved the way for the show to win numerous other honors. In 2016 and 2017, it took home the Emmys once more. Judy herself kept receiving honors, and at the 2014 Heroes of Hollywood, she was given the Hollywood Chamber Community Foundation's Mary Pickford Award. But if you ask Judy, her greatest accolade would be the Guinness World Records she earned on September 14, 2015, as the longest-running courtroom show and the longest-serving judge or arbiter in the history of courtroom-themed programming. Judge Judy was making a lot of money from the show in addition to the prizes she received. She made so much money that it made news. Because of her pay, which was about $25 million annually in early 2005, she was able to increase her net worth to $95 million and rank 13th out of the 20 richest women in entertainment on Forbes' list. Even while her wealth wasn't appreciated by everyone, some thought it was unjust that she made so much money while judges who oversaw daily court proceedings made far less. Judge Judy received additional criticism, which will be discussed later. Judy loved what she was doing and the power she had over the audience, even though she was tired despite her affluence. She so became even more enjoying her work when the studio chose to raise her pay to $45 million annually. However, there was something concerning this rise. The audience continued to enjoy the event and appreciated Judy's presentation of what they would like to see in the actual legal system. The audience expected litigants to receive justice quickly, free from protracted appeals, procedural hiccups, lawyer meddling, and technicalities. Because of her decades of expertise in family court, fans praised her brilliance and dubbed her a human lie detector. They saw Judy as a true justice warrior who, with her words, put an end to evildoers. But this was not the case for everyone. Some fans thought Judge Judy wasn't as excellent a judge as many thought she was, even though many praised her early Judge Judy programs for their justice and patience. They've even asked whether she can be disbarred. She was accused of interfering with litigants, making snap decisions, and displaying prejudice against particular groups. These detractors claim that Judy becomes irascible and contemptuous whenever she has to interact with those who are low income or struggling on public assistance. Many were unaware, though, that Judge Judy had a problem. Judge grew increasingly stern and lost her patience with litigants as the seasons progressed. Judy didn't take as many breaks as she should have because the show was beneficial for everyone involved. Even taking a break would have been impossible for her. The show paid litigants to appear, and their fees may range from as little as $100 to as much as $500, the highest pay, based on a number of variables, such as how much time they spent on television. Some litigants received as much as $250. This payment is made after the show provided them with Hollywood accommodations, covering all or almost all of their costs while filming. The show acts on behalf of the defendants even when Judge Judy imposes fees that they are not required to pay. According to reports, a lot of litigants appear on the show and make up issues in order to receive payment. This is the reason why Judge Judy detractors have charged that the show adds drama rather than genuineness. Due to the constant influx of plaintiffs, Judy was unable to take a break. In 2010, she contemplated retiring, but she had a contract that was set to expire in 2014. She stated that she would leave when her contract ended, but a horrible incident occurred well before that date. When Judy arrived on the set on March 30, 2011, everything appeared to be going as planned, save for the fact that she was completely worn out. Judy simply carried on with her day. As though it were typical, but it wasn't. When the bailiff called a case while they were still filming, Judy was listening to the parties, when all of a sudden everything went dark. Judy had passed out. She was taken to the hospital right away. After testing her, the physicians discovered that she had experienced a mini stroke. Judy did not give up, though. Rather, she received a pay raise and contract extension that same year, making her the highest-paid TV personality. She was so successful that she even had a spin-off in 2014, which she named Hot Bench. She had no idea how much trouble this spin-off would cause her. Judy accepted a new contract extension in 2017 that would keep her practicing her brand of justice until 2021. Her pre-tax income increased to $147 million as a result of that contract renewal, but it also brought up additional issues that we will discuss shortly. Judy maintained that the only reason she would resign was if the audience lost interest in her show, but she completely forgot about it after receiving that pay increase. She enjoyed her job and was still full of energy, but she had a thought. She started working on how to make her vision a reality, nevertheless, without making the announcement just yet. Judy remained Judge Judy while developing the concept, and in March 2020, she made the announcement that many fans feared. During her appearance on Ellen DeGeneres' show, she declared that the show would conclude on the 25th anniversary of its premiere. She would have preferred a different parting effect, but her final days on the show didn't have it. Richard Lawrence, the president of Rebel Entertainment Partners Incorporated, sued CBS television distribution for millions of dollars in 2016. Since Judy was brought to CBS by their former workers Sandy Sprechman and Kay Switzer, he and his company accused CBS of attempting to defraud them of the money they earned from the show. Rebel said that the reason CBS was unable to pay them was because Judy was being paid too much. They even asserted that the show wasn't as successful as CBS was attempting to portray it. Judy was enmeshed in this maelstrom of court cases, and the woman who provided justice to others was charged with unfairly stealing from those who assisted her. Judy and CBS were charged with failing to notify Rebel about more spin-offs because they were unwilling to split the earnings with Rebel. Judy wasn't prepared to be walked over after years of being a strong lawyer and a tougher justice. The accusations were refuted by her. She said Richard wasn't satisfied with earning more than $17 million from her show and was too avaricious. She also called him selfish for never getting in touch with her or approaching her for anything after they first met before the show started. She defended the sum that CBS paid her, claiming that it was due to the value she added to the company. Was she really contributing that much to CBS? In 2018, the court agreed with her and ruled that Judy was a useful asset to CBS and that she was not overpaid. Judy didn't get away with it entirely, though. According to the court, she and CBS ought to have told Rebel about any spin-off. There were a lot more twists to come, exactly as in the Judge Judy program, so if you thought the drama was finished, think again. Richard and Rebel Entertainment weren't happy with the court's ruling. CBS was fed up with the legal turmoil, so they decided to appeal. They wanted to finish their legal dramas soon, as they had been airing those about other people for years. They therefore approached Rebel Entertainment in 2020 and made a contract with them. Rebel pushed for another lawsuit because they thought they had CBS where they wanted them. They joined Judy as a defendant this time, but she was fed up. She refused to make a settlement with Rebel and filed a $22 million countersuit against them, alleging unethical business tactics. The conflict continued, but Judy encountered a problem. If she desired a case, the judge asked her to countersue CBS as well. Judy had to make a decision. She had two options: she could remain loyal to CBS or fight for the money she desired. She lost her case because she opted for loyalty. She was indifferent. The lower court's conclusion that there was no contract violation between CBS and Rebel was upheld by the California Court of Appeal. In accordance with the terms of their contract, the court ruled that CBS was paying Rebel the agreed-upon sum. It came out, though, that Judy was advocating for a 3-year contract extension. So, even though she felt overburdened at one time, she desired more work. She could now celebrate her win, but it was short-lived. She also had to contend with another case. And former buddies became adversaries this time. Judy, CBS Corporation, CBS Studios, and Big Ticket Television were sued by Kay Switzer and Jay Robinson, the trustee for Sandy Sprechman. They asserted that he owed payments to his former Rebel Entertainment staff for finding Judy. They claimed that Judge Judy wouldn't exist if it weren't for that discovery and the following introduction to CBS. Judy wasn't concerned because it wouldn't be the first time the two filed a case like this. The lawsuit was, as she put it, background noise. In 2021, the court dismissed it because it saw no merit in it. Judy was involved in other litigation besides them. Judge Judy was sued in March 2013 by Patrice Jones, the wife of Judge Judy's executive producer Randy Duthett. She accused Judy of plotting with her husband to purchase pricey silverware in fine china that she had. Judy handed the silverware back to Randy Duthett, who then handed it back to his wife because it was getting messy. Judy continued to be involved in a few further lawsuits, but the one from March 2014 is particularly noteworthy. Judge Judy's picture was therefore utilized in a few advertisements by a lawyer by the name of John Haymond. When the show's producer realized that utilizing Judy's image was prohibited, they alerted the lawyer right once. However, the lawyer ignored this and kept releasing advertisements. Judy filed a lawsuit since she didn't like this. In addition to using her image in television advertisements without her consent, she accused Haymond and his legal company of creating the false impression that Judge Judy had personally approved of Haymond's practice. But Haymond was not going to back down. Additionally, he countersued, alleging that Judy had slandered him and his company. He said that he only complied with local TV stations' requests for him to appear in promotional videos for Judge Judy's show. Haymond approached Judy for a deal after realizing that no one was buying that and that he was about to lose. Judy dropped the lawsuit after he gave to her organization. Haymond seems to have forgotten Judy's toughness. She got to where she is now because of her toughness. Judy has no intention of retiring after Judge Judy's broadcast ended. With all that leisure, what would she do? Rather than retiring to spend time with her elder grandchildren, she worked with them to produce something. Judy had a strategy before Judge Judy concluded. Her goal was to develop a new courtroom program that would appeal to younger audiences and be a spin-off of Judge Judy. Judy Justice was her creation. She chose to work with her granddaughter since she required a younger person's assistance to accomplish that. She chose not to perform in the new show with bailiff Bird, nevertheless, in an effort to appeal to a younger audience. She informed Bird that she was unable to cover his salary. Bird was taken aback by this, believing that Judy ought to have consulted him before making the choice for him because of their lengthy relationship. Despite his pain, Bird decided it was time to move on. Unless the fans said no. Judy's treatment of Bird would not be the first time she did this. When the show wasn't on, she kept him at arm's length and never once treated him like a buddy. This didn't bother Bird, but the show won the inaugural Emmy Award. He was depressed. He didn't even seat in the same row as Judy. He was seated 20 rows behind him. Judy also allowed someone else to present the prize when it was time, in order to give her the award. When fans realized this, they weren't prepared to let her act in such a way again. Fans chastised Judy Justice for her actions when the new show debuted and they realized it wasn't their favorite man playing the bailiff. Then the true cause became apparent. Judy wanted someone who could appeal to the younger generation, therefore she refused to let Bird join her on the new show. She almost alienated her core constituency by doing that. Judy instantly brought Bird back, but with a twist, after realizing her error. She offered him the position of bailiff in Tribunal Justice, another spin-off program. Judge Judy, where are you now? She is even more well-known now than she was before becoming Judy Justice.